Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. We got a little bit more brush to clean out of the wood line there, so let's go ahead and get the 6-foot brush hog attached to the Kioti NX4510 and let's get to work. Alright guys, well, it's getting kind of dark on us and I don't really want to work in the woods any later than I have to, but we got a lot done for just putting about an hour and a half, 2 hours on the Kioti NX4510 tractor behind me with the Titan implements. This is a heavy duty brush hog, and it is brush cutter, topper, you know, different parts of the world call it different things. We call it a bush hog. It's all the same thing, right? It's a 6-foot bush hog, and I got a 60-inch Titan Implements Grapple with the third function on the Kioti NX4510. Those have been two of my most favorite implements to use, especially when doing things you probably should be doing with a skid steer or a forestry mulcher, but I couldn't justify the purchase of a skid steer just for this job. See, the tractor shouldn't be doing this stuff, but I got it so that it potentially could, and that's one reason why I went a little bit bigger than the things horsepower-wise than I would be normally using it for. Typically, you know, garden stuff or growing your own vegetables and things like that. You know, tilling, things like that, it's very useful to have a tractor for. I went with this size instead of just like a normal 30 horse. I could do everything that I need to do in the garden with a 30 horse, and truth be known, I could probably do most of the stuff back here in the woods with smaller horsepower, but you know, I've never heard anybody complain about having too much horsepower or too big of a tractor. So you might be a little weary about using a cab tractor in the woods, and I am too. So I take my time, I move very slowly, and my head's on a swivel the entire time. So I am deathly afraid of busting out the glass on this cab tractor in the woods. So I use my steel pole saw, come in here, clean out what I can. You're still gonna get scratches, you're still going to, you know, run up against things, but again, it's a tractor. It's not going to a car show. It doesn't need to be buffed and polished every other weekend. I bought it to use it, and that's what I'm doing, is using it. And just in the past couple days, when we started today, this right here is the back half of the shop. That's where we spend most of the time here on the channel, in shop, building stuff. And hopefully you guys like this stuff too, is out of the shop, doing some yard work, doing some woodwork, a little bit of you know, chainsaw stuff, tractor stuff, garden, being a little bit more self-sufficient. I'm gonna start including a little bit more of that in this, so hopefully you guys enjoy that stuff as well. And if you don't, dislike the video. But this is kind of what we started out with the other day. That's the back half of the shop, and I did this little terrace over here. And I had already cleaned this up with a skid steer that I rented way long ago, probably about 2 or 3 years ago now. And it just got to the point where every year we have about 11.25 acres here, and about 5 of it is grass that you can maintain with just a normal lawnmower. But every year we'd lose a little bit of that grass to the brushes that were coming off the edge of the wood line. So we'd have to rent a heavy piece of machinery, spend a bunch of money, and it just got to the point where I was tired of not being able to do it at my leisure. So completely justified the purchase of a tractor. And again, it's not just, oh, check this out, we got deer coming out of the woods. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to sit here and talk to you guys. Hopefully you guys can see the deer coming out of the woods in the background. And that's kind of what it's all about, is trying to get this land more usable for us, but not only us, any wildlife in the area. We have a lot of thick brush, and we can't use the woods and the land that we have if you can't even access the woods. So that was about 10 to 20% of the decision behind getting the tractor. The other 10 to 20% was we wanted a bigger garden, we wanted to grow more stuff, and just the general maintenance of the land in essence that we couldn't use. So about every year I visited the idea of getting a tractor, could never justify the purchase. If you want to know more about the financials of it and everything, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do a completely separate video of how I was able to buy this, why, and all that good stuff. And maybe you can go get yourself a tractor. Highly recommend any piece of machinery that you can get if you have any kind of acreage whatsoever, whether it's 3 to 5 acres or 5 to 10 or 20 to 50. You need some equipment. To maintain it by hand is a tall task, even if you have nothing else to do, even if you don't have a full-time job. You start throwing a full-time job and a wife into the mix, and you run out of time pretty quickly. So machinery like this, Kioti NX4510, helped me get the job done, and it brings in cool deer, you know. So that's pretty neat. But anyway, I cleared this section out a while ago, about a year or two ago, with a skid steer that I rented, maybe about 3 years, when we put in the gravel driveway. Redid that, gravel all the way up to the shop. I came back here and I cleared out a little bit because it looked like that, and I was tired of not having just a place to park extra stuff. So I never really used that area there to park anything extra, so it kind of just grew back up again, and I cleared out this the other day. We're eventually going to clear out all that, but I'm mainly concerned with the wood line itself. I'm trying to get as deep this way into the woods as I can because we're going to be putting up a fence here soon. So I want to be able to shoot a straight line, get a good fence line, maybe get some animals in the future, some more livestock, and just have a lot more fun with the land that we bought to have fun with, that we haven't been able to do, or haven't thus far in the 6 years that we've owned it. So I know it's a little bit different than building cars. I know it's a little bit different than doing the shop stuff, but this is kind of who I am. I build cars, I build engines, I do machining, welding, fabricating, sheet metal work, rust repair, powder coating, anything that I can do myself, I enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoy this stuff too. Tractors, farm and garden, self-sufficiency, working your own land, and just having fun with the things that you have, and not necessarily always wanting the things that you can't obtain or can't afford. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you do, click that thumbs up button. I'm running out of daylight. If you have any questions about what I'm doing or why, go ahead, leave a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, become a subscriber today. Hit that gray button or red button, make it go gray, and then you'll be subscribed to the channel. Turn on your bell notifications, which is the little bell icon right next to that subscribe button. After you click it, and you'll get notified. You'll get a special little message every time that I get around to posting another video. I appreciate you guys as always, and until next time, thanks for watching this one. I'm gonna go watch the deer for a bit.